All right. Russia and Ukraine have given conflicted accounts of the contested city of Bakhmut. While Russia claims to have full control of the city, Ukraine has denied these claims altogether. But ever since this war began, officials in Kyiv have been requesting Western allies to provide them with warplanes, such as the F-16. Why was US hesitant to provide these jets? Let's find out. Earlier, American officials were worried that these jets could be used to hit targets inside Russia, potentially escalating the conflict even further. But now, US President Joe Biden changed course, telling allies that the Ukrainian pilots will be trained on F-16 jets and will work with other countries to supply these jets to Kyiv.
You know, in my private meeting with President Zelensky after the G7 meeting and with his staff, I told him the United States, together with our allies and partners, is going to begin training Ukrainian pilots in fourth-generation fighter aircraft, including F-16s.
Meanwhile, during the G7 summit, a US president made it clear that Ukraine would only use these jets if Russian troops are within its area and not use these jets to go into the Russian territory.
I have a flat assurance from Zelensky that they will not use it to go on and move into Russian geographic territory. But wherever Russian troops are within Ukraine and the area, they would be able to do that.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed what he called a historic decision and said that this would enhance Ukrainian army when it comes to air defense. He further spoke on the training assistance for pilots, saying that it is a work in progress.
Щодо F-16 ми всі можемо довго про це говорити. Але ми з вами розуміємо, що F-16 в будь-якому випадку починається з навчання. І це training missions, які можуть надати нам тільки ті країни, які мають відповідні майданчики, ті, які мають на своєму озброєнні.
Reaffirming the US president's position to provide F-16 jets to Ukraine, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said that Britain is focused on providing top-notch air defense that Ukraine would need for the future.
We're supporting Ukraine to develop the air force it needs for the future, with the UK training Ukrainian pilots starting this summer. And we've made a real breakthrough at this summit, thanks to President Biden's support for an international coalition to provide F-16 jets.
So now the question remains, how crucial are these F-16 jets for Ukraine? Last month, Ukraine's parliament members said they wanted these jets to locate targets on the ground that are hundreds of miles away, allowing pilots to be safe in Ukraine-controlled territories while launching weapons into Russian-controlled areas. Colonel Einat noted that these planes would not only help pilots, but also help Ukrainian troops on ground by covering for them if the troops are advancing for counter-offensive. Colonel was sure when he said that the current Ukrainian fleet is old and none of these objectives can be obtained from the current air defense systems. We were earlier joined by Elizabeth Braw, who is a senior fellow from the American Enterprise Institute, who spoke extensively on the issue. Listen in.
It will be a big boost simply because they just haven't had a lot of success in the past few months. We should remember that this war, they started this war on the assumption that they would be able to take Kyiv and indeed the country within days. And 15 months later, they've achieved no such thing. And that's why it is really a sign of Russia's desperation that they put so much hope and effort on a town of 70,000, but that's how modest their objectives have become, because this war was clearly not very well planned. And that's why it's so important for them to be able to say that they've taken it. Another thing to bear in mind, though, is that the part of the Russian forces that has been doing most of the fighting in Bakhmut is the Wagner Group, which is obviously not part of the professional Russian armed forces. It's a mercenary group led by somebody who is not a general, who is just a businessman. And this, I think, will have implications for the way Russia conducts its war, because now Prigozhin, if Russia has indeed taken Bakhmut, Prigozhin will be able to say, well, now I'm even more important. You should listen to me, and I get to say whatever I like about the defense minister and the commander of the Russian armed forces. And he could actually become much more of a threat to the Russian leadership as a result of this victory, if indeed they have taken Bakhmut.